Now, identity thefts are probably one of the most common and most dangerous attacks or threats that all of us face on the internet. So in this section, I'd like to briefly talk about three most common techniques of identity thefts. The first technique is basically an attack known as IP spoofing. Now, IP spoofing is basically the art of changing or spoofing your IP address when you're communicating with the target computer in such a manner that the target computer thinks that you are somebody else, as a result of which the target computer gives you access to important data that you normally wouldn't have access to. So IP spoofing is one topic that is easier understood when you actually read the step-by-step reading material that has been assigned to all of you. So I totally recommend that you go through the reading material and understand how IP spoofing is actually done. IP spoofing is extremely complicated though. It's not easy to perform and it requires a lot of luck, and at the same time requires a lot of extremely fast mathematical calculations that need to be made by the attacker. So all the IP spoofing, if performed effectively, can actually give you access to a lot of sensitive data and give you a lot of power as far as breaking into the target computer is concerned. However, I like to warn you, it's not easy to execute, requires a lot of luck, and requires you to make extremely fast mathematical calculations. However, like I said, a step-by-step guide has already been assigned to you. Just follow the instructions, and I think it's extremely easy to understand but very difficult to actually execute in the real world on the ground. Another extremely good technique of identity theft or identity hijack or changing your identity or rather hiding your identity is something known as proxy servers. We've already discussed proxy servers earlier in this course, so I will not like to discuss it again. However, I thought I'll just mention this technique. Similarly, there's a technique called proxy bouncing, which has also already been demonstrated and talked about earlier in this course, which is probably the easiest and most commonly used technique of hiding or changing your identity on the internet such that you can actually pretend to be somebody else in some other part of the world while you're communicating with the target computer. Another related topic is something known as onion routing. Now, onion routing is actually a technique in which you can actually hide the source of a particular data packet using sophisticated techniques which have not been completely tested. This technique is actually still under development by researchers in the US. However, if you go through the reading material, this entire concept of onion routing has already been introduced to all of you.